I'm bored. Wonder if there are any good mods for Factorio out there.
A few moments later.
Oh no, I can't do a Darth Vader voice. Hey guys, welcome back to another Noobert video featuring yours truly. This time, I'm gonna give you a list of top 10 Factorio mods you need in 2021. Factorio is an amazing game, and quite honestly, the whole factory building thing sounds more boring than it actually is in gameplay. You can easily sink hundreds of hours into ripping the planet apart for resources, destroying all life on it, and building the perfect factory. Still, maybe that's not enough for you. Maybe you want more. Well, that's where my list comes in. Most of the mods on this list are compatible with each other, except possibly the space exploration mod. Even then, installing it shouldn't be a huge issue, provided you don't add too many mods that make major changes. You ready? Then let's dive in. Oh, but before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. It'll be worth it, I promise. I've got lots of other great content on it, the Factorio and other games too. The first mod on my top 10 list is BOTTLENECK. If you've played Factorio often enough, one problem you'll find is that despite the wealth of information provided via the game's UI, it somehow still lacks specific indicators. Notably, production structures don't display any warnings when their input or output is disrupted. BOTTLENECK is designed to help improve the efficiency of your factory. The way it works is that the mod adds a traffic light system to key production structures such as furnaces and assemblers. When a red light flashes on your machine, you might have a problem with input. Maybe nothing is being fed into the machine, which means it can't produce anything, or if you have a yellow light, it means there might be an output problem. BOTTLENECK gives you a clear indication of problem areas within your factory, which helps you troubleshoot quickly and resolve them. It's a pretty simple mod, but useful nonetheless, definitely worth downloading. Even distribution is also a pretty invaluable mod. Factorio is a great game, and I really do appreciate Whoop Software putting in all the hard work to make it fun and along with being intuitive. But for some unknown reason, the way dragging and dropping resources into containers is it's weird. It's very weird. It doesn't even split the stack evenly. Why? I don't understand this. Oh, mighty supercomputer, I have come to ask you a favor.
What is it? Speak flashback.
You know all the secrets in the universe, so I'd like to ask you a question.
Ask me then, and I may choose to answer.
Why do resources in Factorio split unevenly when put in containers? Fortunately, someone came up with a mod to rectify that. When installed, the mod makes it so that dragging and dropping a resource over multiple containers splits the resources evenly between each container rather than having the amount with each new container. Don't know why it's not part of the base game, but that's how it is, I suppose. Give it a try. Even distribution is a solid quality of life addition, which definitely helps with your resource splitting OCD. At number 3, we have another solid quality of life mod in the form of Goddammit Water, or GDIW for short. If you're like me, you're the kind of Factorio player who always sets up oil refineries in the wrong way, which makes it a pain to rearrange pipes and adjust the layout so stuff goes in the right direction. It's quite terrible. Well, no big deal. GDIW is here to save the day. No more wasting time or effort rebuilding everything when you inevitably mess up. GDIW lets you manually alternate the input and output of individual pipes for oil refineries, chemical plants, and other liquid-based structures. This means you can easily fix any mistakes you make when laying pipes with just a few clicks. The mod even gives you a hotkey to rotate through various options. Aside from it being handy, GDIW also helps you establish much more efficient chemical production lines. Have you ever wanted to move your factories around? Need to relocate some parts of your base, but dread all the rebuilding? Like GDIW, the mobile factory mod adds a solid quality of life option that cuts down on having to do this. As the mod name implies, it adds a tank into your inventory that when deployed can be walked into to open up a 30 by 30 construction grid. This construction construction grid behaves like regular terrain, and you can build on it like anywhere else on the planet too. All buildings on the grid function as normal, including conveyor belts. Once you're done building, you can drive the mobile factory around. That's actually pretty insane. I like this mod. It's a pretty handy mod, especially if you need a regular supply of resources or items but can't maintain a fixed factory position. Also handy if you need to escape an enemy attack and save some of your factories. Give the mod a shot. It's worth it. Everybody knows the real purpose of this mod is just to build mobile fortresses, okay? Just giant cannon fodder machines, you know what I mean? Before we continue, here's a quick reminder. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe. Hit the sub button. It's right there. Click it. Click it. Just click that subscribe button. You can click it. Click it. Go on, do it. I'm waiting. Alright, I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting. You're gonna do it at the end of the video anyways. If you want more great content like this, it's easy. Just click that subscribe button down below and you're all set. Or was I not done waiting? Now, back to the video.
A few moments later. More moments later. Early the next morning.
That's what happens when you don't go on a diet. But then again, maybe it's just the broken collision boxes of Factorio structures. Honestly, they're really janky and sometimes what looks like a large gap can't be squeezed through, despite your character being so much smaller than it. If you don't want to go on a diet, Squeak Through should be the mod for you. It slightly decreases collision boxes for most structures so that your player character can move more easily between structures. No more getting stuck. For example, have a look at the clip without the mod. Normally your character wouldn't be able to squeeze between those solar panels. With Squeak Through, you can squeeze through. Bear in mind that enemies can also utilize the reduced collision boxes, so if you have been using structures to cheese their pathing, that won't work anymore. No, it won't work. And of course, this mod doesn't affect certain structures like walls. Obviously, you wouldn't want enemies just passing through easily, right? All in all, the mod is worth downloading to save yourself the hassle of navigating broken building hitboxes. Speaking of enemies, at number 6, we have a mod that modifies enemy behavior, the Rampant mod. While enemies in the base game can be extremely dangerous to you and your factory, they're also pretty dumb. You can easily lead them on a wild goose chase or funnel enemies into death traps without the AI being any wiser. After a while, they become more of a joke than genuine threat. This mod aims to fix that though. In short, it adds a lot of new AI behaviors to help enhance the enemy's threat level. These behaviors include things like probing your defenses for weak spots, making tactical withdrawals when they're at a disadvantage, reinforcing nearby nests that are being attacked, you're attacking, or whatever, and lots more. It's definitely not a mod for newbies, and you should ideally install it once you're more familiar with the game. Don't want to get overwhelmed. After all, still definitely a must-have if you want Factorio to be more strategic and challenging. Okay, we've been talking about enemies quite a lot, so let's forget that topic for a moment. Sometimes a man just wants to run, and what you need is speed. I really need to exercise more. Not good enough, I need more! Unfortunately, there's no Factorio mod that turns you into Barry Allen, but there is a time control speed mod. Speed control basically allows you to speed up or slow down in-game time via an overlay at the top left of the screen. Pretty cool stuff. You can adjust time in various precise increments, whether hundredths, tenths, or even one-eighths. It's very useful for speeding up time when you're waiting for something to finish manufacturing or arrive, or if you need to slow things down to think your plan through. I mean really. Sometimes waiting for an item to be built can be boring, right? Notably, it affects the entire world, so enemies are also sped up or slowed down accordingly. Be aware of that when adjusting the time, or you might get a nasty surprise. Still, the mod is very useful, assuming you utilize it properly. Wow, that was one hell of a landing. I need a break. Since we're resting, why not drop a comment down below? Whether it's feedback or suggestions or even jokes and random comments, drop them all down there. I'll try my best to respond. Alright, are you done? We should get back to the list. Everyone else is waiting. Let's go. Come with me. And on the subject of overlays, we have yet another overlay mod. The function of EVOGUI is pretty different though. It doesn't actually allow you to adjust anything like speed control does. Instead, if you're a data junkie or someone who lives to have as much info as possible, EVOGUI is a dream mod. What it does is provide another top left overlay, but designed to provide players valuable insight into normally invisible statistics. This includes things like the pollution level where you're currently standing, current in-game time, the number of in-game days since your first crash landed, and most importantly, the current enemy's evolution level. See, for those of you unaware, the evolution level basically governs how aggressive enemies are, the size and population of their bases, and enemy unit stats. I went a bit more in depth in my video on beginner tips for Factorio, so I won't talk too much about it here. In short, you can use the evolution level to figure out exactly how prepared you need to be at any given moment, whether it's to fight off biter attacks or attack nests. In particular, if you are running the Rampant mod, the EVOGUI pairs well with it. This mod is very useful and lightweight tool for Factorio players, so I can definitely recommend it. One problem you'll often encounter in Factorio is space limitations. It isn't really a problem early on, but once your factory grows larger, it becomes a sprawling mess of conveyor belts and buildings, and of course the larger a factory, the more power needed for all the machines. Solar panels are a great source of energy, but take up lots of space. Walls, on the other hand, are crucial for keeping enemies out, unless you play on peaceful, but serve no other purpose and use a fair bit of space too. As the mod name would imply, it combines the two, allowing you to build walls that have solar panels on top, if you need to use clean energy that is, but are worried about space. This mod will save your ass. It's not a huge mod, but this simple change definitely has a major impact on Factorio's quality of life. If you've watched my Rimworld videos, you'll know I've talked about space travel mod that allows you to go past the confines of the game's spaceship launch ending and explore other worlds. Someone made a rather similar mod for Factorio called Space Exploration. Normally, launching a rocket into space in Factorio's endgame is a win condition. This mod basically expands on it and turns space exploration into a whole other mode. Of all the mods on this list, this one is probably the biggest. Let's take a look at some of the content. First up, you can build cargo rockets to launch stuff into space. It's a function already present in the base game, but one that usually isn't too useful as you've pretty much won the game by that point. With this mod though, it becomes a necessity to send cargo up if you're keen on establishing a space station. Once that's fully built, you have multiple options to execute from the comfort of your space platform. You can, for example, develop space science projects with heavy requirements but also huge payoffs with 4 specialist science packs available for you to start researching. Build a spaceship with the way you build a ground base tile by tile, and even fly the spaceship to other planets, moons, asteroid belts, and more when you can build more glorious factories and uncover interesting secrets. It even adds a new win condition where you escape the star cluster. It's a really cool mod that dramatically expands Factorio's scope and adds a whole lot of new content. If you're getting bored with the base game, this is the mod for you to get. So there you have it. That's a list of the top 10 mods I feel y'all should get in 2021. Hopefully I've been useful to you in deciding what mods to try out. Got any other great mods to suggest? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with loads of more cool content. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. We need those. I'm racing my buddy right now. We need the subscribers, okay? Help us with this competition. Thank you. Thank you very much.